you used to be able to put shit out there and it would grow. It would grow and they'd be like, hey, we're trying to get people to use this. So, blah, blah, blah. This is like fucking 10 years ago. They don't do that anymore. They don't I mean, I understand it because now there's more fucking YouTube accounts than fucking people. Why are there people texting me in the middle of this shit? That is so annoying. Excuse me for 2 seconds, please. Like I said, it's always fucking something. It's always something. This time, you know what? This time the technology was actually friendly to me. It was actually friendly enough. I knock on fucking wood. Because I say that now, this is going to come crashing down, and there's going to be a great fucking fire, and it's going to swallow me up. And you know what? I'm kind of like, at this point, I'm like kind of inviting it a little bit. I'm not like totally, like I know when I fucking see the fire, it's going to be in a different state of mind. It's going to be like, we should probably fucking clean this up, probably put it the fuck out, especially if it could spread to other people. But even at that point, you know, like other people. I'm kind of like I was thinking about the Titanic shit. I was watching like a recreation of like the Titanic going down like in real fucking time, like they just reenacted it or whatever digitally with the people, and then so you heard the cellos fucking playing, you heard people fucking screaming, and you saw like in real time. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, like I had a couple reactions. I'm like, what would Desi do if the Titanic was going down? And my first reaction, and my second reaction was the noble one, where I'm like, you know what? No, I wouldn't do it. I'd say, like, listen, I like to pride myself in having some sort of, if not leadership skills. Maybe I don't have leadership skills, but you know what I have? I have the ability to say, all right, cut the bullshit. All right, everybody, cut the bullshit and sit the fuck down. Okay, put on your regular big. I was gonna say regular boy pants, but regular girl pants, whatever pants, whatever. Don't wear any pants. I don't give a shit. Just put on whatever it is that cuts you down to fucking size and sit the fuck down, and we're gonna figure this shit out. Rather than run around like our fucking with our heads going. Blah, 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 blah. But I'll say my first reaction was, my first reaction was I'd be the guy who's like shoving people out the way to get on the boat. Unfortunately, because that's what everybody's fucking doing. And then I thought to myself, does that mean that there's no fucking God? Like, I went there, like, and I'm just kind of like, I'm sick of having those discussions too, because everything's just so fucking big, and it's like, I'm just trying to make fucking, like a couple $100. Okay? Does everything have to be so, like, but that's all, like, that's how my brain works. Okay? It's like, I'm trying to make this, but I know what, and then I gotta do this, and then what about this? And then what if that happened? And then what this? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we're back at the God shit again. So it's like, but I had that moment, like, does that mean that God doesn't exist? Does that mean that we're all fucking fooling ourselves to be like, oh, it's all thing, and then in moments of crisis, we all just fucking run around like chickens without heads, and then essentially just, that makes us no different from, we're just talking chickens who can build shit and have fucking screens? Is it that? I say you don't know until it happens. And the problem with being in a fucking room all the time, and it's like I would be in a room a lot less if I could afford society. If I could afford it. I can't afford society right now. I can barely afford to stay in this fucking room. Okay? And now it's like, but you should get out more. Yeah, I know, I get walks are free. And that's the only thing that saved my fucking sanity. That and this. But even this is kind of driving me nuts. Especially when you don't fucking mute your phone. I'm surprised anybody's fucking even talking to me because I don't go outside anymore. So like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? And I'm not, like I said, I'm that cynical too. It's like it's like my head goes right to that question. It's not like, oh, somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody wants to, it's like, what's the agenda? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the context is of somebody who knows you and all this kind of shit. Everybody at the end of the day is the equivalent of a fucking salesman. And it's like there's a counter, and they put you the space between you and the counter. And it's like, all right, what do you want from me? What do you want from my life? And you know how I know? Because I fucking do that too. Because I do that too. And I say I'm anti-bullshit and this and that, and we cut the shit. But I go through the whole thing too, because I'm like, hey, I want this from somebody, right? But you can't just walk in and ask. Well, I mean, you should. See, me saying here, like, me giving the advice, if somebody was asking me, like, oh, well, I want to be able to use, somebody's fucking lawnmower, I'd be like, just go ask them to use the fucking lawnmower. And it's like, yeah, but I've done this. It's like, just ask them. Stop fucking beating around the bush, okay? But I know that if I took my own advice and it was like, okay, well, I gotta ask my fucking neighbor to use the lawnmower, I have to butter him up. I'm like, hey, your hair's looking good today, blah, 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 blah. Hey, did you lose some fucking weight? Hey, I heard your kid got a fucking trophy for, the backwards fucking spelling bee. For the backwards fucking spell, like he just mastered spelling long words backwards. And he's a champion and he's well revered among his 5-year-old friends. Or some shit like that. And I have to butter it up. But then, you know what the thing is? But it's like, you do that, and then it's like, all right, well, now he's clearly fucking, he lied about all that shit. He just wants to use my fucking lawnmower. You know what I mean? And it's the truth, because I don't give a fuck about the kid. Fuck the kid. Who gives a fuck about what the kid does? You know what that is? That's a useless skill. It's a useless skill. Especially in the age of the internet. Like, it used to be like novelty shit. Maybe you'd make like the Guinness Book of World Records, but nobody even fucking buys. I used to buy that shit as a kid. Nobody buys that shit anymore. What are your options if you're somebody who is brilliant at spelling words backwards? What are the options in your life? I guess you could be like you could have, you know what it is? You could have like a moment of like Twitter fame, or like a YouTube. You could be a YouTube sensation, especially if you're a kid, because we eat that shit up. And you wear like a bow tie or some shit as a kid, and you look grown. You have like a grown person's haircut. You wear a fucking suit with a bow tie, and you're just fucking spelling snuffleupagus backwards, like off the top of your head. Even though you know what it was is that your parent is like, your parent works some shit job, and they're looking at the back nine of their fucking life. And they're like, it was a mess. It was all in vain. So now, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna lay down? No, because I got bills to pay. And guess what? I still believe in the American dream. Even though it chewed me the fuck up and spit me back out, just covered in Uncle Sam's saliva. Okay, but still I fucking believe, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pass it on to my kids, and by pass it on to my kids, I'm passing on all the fucking chewing up and spitting out. And now, not only is Uncle Sam gonna chew my kids up, but I'm gonna chew my kids up. And my kid's not leaving this fucking room until he learns how to fucking spell zucchini backwards. Okay, you better fucking learn. No, Daddy, I want to go play with my friend. And then, but that maybe, you know what though? Actually, I stand corrected, because today you wouldn't be able to get away with it. I mean, does the kid have a phone? But somebody would have to record that. You'd be able to leak that shit easier than ever before too. So if this was like the 60s or the 70s, you'd be able to get away with it. Because then it's all like he said, she said. Nobody could actually see the guy beating the fuck out of his kids to learn these fucking words. So maybe there's that. But regardless. The point I'm saying is, the kid didn't wake up one day. He's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's why I'm always like, I fall for this shit too, because I'm a human being, and I act like I'm the guy who goes on these things, these sites, and these whatever, and I see the story, and it's like, oh, kid donated 7,000 camels to a village in fucking Somalia. Okay, and it was his idea, and he loved camels. It's like, no, it wasn't his idea. It wasn't his fucking idea. You know it wasn't. Like, okay, he went as far as saying, like, I like camels. Okay? That was his contribution. He contributed, like, 5% of the idea. It was the parent who's, like, again, working some fucking sales job with TJ Maxx. Who I don't think are they even in business anymore? Okay, so so they went under, so they had to downgrade, because all the retail's going under, because it's all going to Amazon. Or it's all losing out to Amazon, right? So this guy's applying for the fucking Amazon job, and he's just buying as much Amazon fucking stock as he can, but it is slow coming. And now stocks are everything's down, because they don't know if the Russia shit's gonna blow up, if the dollar's gonna blow up, whatever the fuck, right? So things are coming slow for this guy, but he needs shit to start happening fucking now, okay? And he's going down the list of like, what can I do? Because I went from working TJ Maxx to like fucking Baskin Robbins, like behind the counter. And I heard my kids say, and I had this fucking kid thinking this was gonna pop, that was gonna pop. I was responsible. I didn't just no hat, walk in, stick wherever it has to go, fucking left and right, having 10 kids on my back. No. I was responsible. I did the family planning shit, and I made sure I was in a good place. And this is gonna bail me out. Oh, look what fucking happened. The dream didn't work out anyway. So now I got this kid who's like a lot of people, they go like, yeah, I used to have fucking ambition or whatever in life, and then you lose, because the game is designed for you to fucking lose 95, 96, 97, 98% of the fucking time. And maybe part of that's because your thing was too lofty. You're going way too fucking high. You're not going to make $1 billion selling fucking pretzels. You're just not going to do it. Because there's every other industry, the fucking pretzel thing is cornered. Somebody owns this, and then they're like, oh, but I go to the supermarket and I see fucking 12 different brands. It's either all the same people, or somebody's trying to do it by themselves, and they're charging fucking $13 a bag of pretzels. Okay, because it's all artisan and homemade, and you gotta flaunt that shit. You're good if you're selling it in these upscale, whatever, the Whole Foods and whatever. You're fine with that. Because but even then, they'll stick your shit on the bottom. They'll be like, Hank's fucking pretzels. I'm sorry, Hank, you gotta go on the bottom, unless you pay us like $1 billion. Okay, because here, who goes up in the thing? It's like the one that's owned by like Kraft Foods or some shit. The Kraft Food pretzel, and they own like Kraft Food themselves owns like 7 or 8 of them. And the point of the Hanks thing is that you sell well enough to be able to sell to Kraft Foods. So then Kraft Foods is going to own all the pretzels, and Amazon's going to buy Kraft Foods. Okay, so now the pretzel industry has been squashed. It's been crunched. You know how like you get to the bottom of a bag of pretzels, and it's just like a bunch of cubes of fucking salt. And you know you shouldn't just stick your finger in there and lick it and then do it, but you do it anyway. And maybe I'm speaking for myself. Maybe I'm the only person who does that. Or just throws the residue in their mouth, and then instantly like you feel like you're about to have a seizure. Like you're about to have a fucking seizure. I once had my eye fucking swell up because a buddy of mine. Okay, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna cook you this fucking dish. It's gonna be like, cause he's a cook. And it was fucking banging. With the salt content in there, I'm surprised I can still see. I'm surprised I can still see that I haven't just gone fucking blind. But it was like, honestly, while I was eating it, I'm like, it was like a pork thing. It was like a Asian style fucking pork thing. And while I was eating it, I'm like, you know, this is bliss. Okay, you know, and I don't go through, like, I don't pretend to like it. If I don't like it. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you, hey, look, I appreciate what the effort is cool, you know, and I'll try to be nice about it. But I'm not going to sit there and blow smoke up the ass of something that is not cutting it. It's not cutting it. You know, oh, but you don't understand the palate and the flavors. No, that's bullshit. It's just not good. It's just that don't fucking try to decorate this shit on me. Okay? It's just not good. I don't give a fuck if it's $60 or $1. You know, if we're talking about fucking Pop-Tarts, or if we're talking about fucking lobster. Lobster bisque, lobster, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. Is it good? Is it not good? Does it get the job done or does it not? If we're playing some game of like fucking iron, whatever the fuck, and it's like you got to use this, and it's like, hey, you did the best you could do, you know, fusing, you know, cranberries with fucking, you know, give me another food. Cranberries with pumpkin, with wine, with chalk, right? You did the best you could fucking do, and then stuff that into the ass of a hog, and then just roast it on the. You did the best you could do, okay? Because those things are not designed to fucking go together, especially the chalk thing. Although I heard people do eat chalk. Like, not even on the Pika shit that we were talking about last time. I heard, like, people, they just, maybe it's just, maybe, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care about that. But it was really good, though. The food he made, it was, like, fucking banging. I'm like, this is really fucking good. Salty as a motherfucker. My eyes started fucking swelling up. First time it ever happened. I'm like, does Desi have to call a fucking ambulance? Or can we figure this out? It's gonna go away. I was Googling, because I'm a fucking hypochondriac. Again, I act like I'm all this and I'm all that, and I go around saying, if it happens to me, I'll be in control. Again, this is why I'm talking about the Titanic. It's a great way to bring it back. Great fucking, not segue, but re-segue, because we always get lost. All right, so the pork thing's going into a tree. Titanic, this is what I'm talking about. You know, because in the moment, when my eyes swell up, I'm fucking Googling, like everybody else, because I'm a human being. And it's there. And I would love to fucking throw this shit in the ocean. I would love to take the phone and just throw. And I'm actually very close. I'm very close. Because of this whole thing, right? Because of just the conditions of life and because of things going slowly. I mean, we're getting these videos out. They're getting out there, again, to nobody. But I've factored it in that nobody's going to see this, okay? But it's one of these fucking loop-de-loop things where it's like, well, if nobody sees it, then the Des conglomerate can't get off the fucking ground. Maybe I got to target these. But then if I send it in an email, it's going to look like a spam. And what am I gonna do? Send it every fucking day? Oh, this is hard work and determination. Maybe that's what I don't know what I'm doing. Who do I gotta talk to make the Desi conglomerate happen? These ideas are genius. Like I said, we're gonna do the NFT thing. We're gonna start selling art. I'm gonna be an artist. I'm gonna be a conglomerate guy. All that kind of shit. But it's like the fucking, what's the thing called? The Mobius? Hall of fucking fame. The Mobius? I'm probably saying it wrong. It's probably not the Mobius. It's probably like the E-Mobius or I-Mobius or something. But you know what I'm talking about? These like the figure eight shit. The infinite is a Mobius. We're gonna call it Mobius. Okay? It's like the Mobius of saying, like, I mean, it really Catch-22 would have been, or whatever, you know what I mean? But I had to go, you know, sometimes I like to flaunt. Sometimes I go on Wikipedia, like, I might as well. If I'm spending all this time on fucking Wikipedia and I pick up this and I pick up that, you're gonna fucking hear about it. Okay? I'm gonna be shitty about it. It's like, yeah, you know, this is what I found randomly on my little Easter egg hunt of the internet. Okay, so I'm gonna have to shove it down your throat because I need to prove to you that I know shit. Because otherwise, I'm wasting my fucking life, which is happening anyway. This is all you're indulging me. Okay, you're indulging me. I want to make it seem like my life has fucking purpose. So hey, I'm gonna tell you the exact weight in fucking kilograms of Dutch cheeses from A to Z. I was just making. I don't actually know any Dutch cheeses, but you know, whatever. What the fuck ever. I'll give you a date. I'll pull a date out of my ass. And you'll be like, how the fuck did you, did you know that fucking Rod Stewart got married for the second time on whatever the fuck, Saturday, August 13th, 1975? And you'd be like, and you're supposed to say like, wow, that's impressive. It's like, you're just a fucking weirdo. And it's not even like, does your brain work? It's like, you're just fucking weird. Take all that time that you learned, memorizing the dates, and that's not, again, it's not a fucking, it didn't actually do it. But maybe I'm ruining the story now. I should have just let you believe it. Yeah, that is the date. And you know what? If it isn't, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. Because I said it, and now it's in your fucking head. That's the day he got married. Is he even married? I have no idea. I have no fucking clue. I'm just saying, I should have chose one that the word salad. Doesn't fucking matter. You'd be like, you know what? Maybe instead of spending all the time learning the fucking marriage dates of insert your fucking, celebrity here, maybe you should have put that towards getting dollars. Okay? He's like, but you don't understand. Okay? My dollars, well, I'm playing a different kind of game. Okay? Because there's two kind of games. There's the game where there's a game of you doing shit with your hands for X amount of hour, which basically, you know what that is? It's like they used to say on the Bronx Tale and shit that like a working man is a sucker. I used to say fuck that. I like the working guy. I don't want to get too like Bruce Springsteen about this and say, and he was building with his bricks with his bare hands. I don't want to do that. But like also at the same time though, you gotta respect it. And like I said, you know what? These construction guys, they do the catcalling, the laying around. I'm not trying to over fucking make it like, oh, these guys are gods, or that they can do no wrong, which is fucking clearly fucking not the case. And that you can slouch and whatever, and there's time off and whatever. But at the end of the day, okay, you gotta lift the fucking beams. The beams are going up. Okay, you're risking falling fucking 5 stories and splatting. Okay, you're just risking that at all times. You're risking a fucking, an air conditioner falling on your foot or whatever the fuck it is. All these things could possibly fucking happen. And now I'm just talking about construction. The world of work is widely varied. Like I said, we're going to have, when everybody becomes a cop on the Desert Plan, because if you're unaware, that's our strategy with the mayor shit. We're going to try to run for mayor or oligarch, whichever one gets me the biggest audience and the most money. If I'll be the most corrupt fucking mayor, I'll be the most corrupt whatever. But I'm giving the people what they want. Because I used to go up and say, there's a lot of bullshit regarding the cops. They pretty much just act as a fucking gang. And then I looked at the people go, fucking crime. So it's like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna give you what you want then. I'm done. Why am I standing in front of a tsunami? Why am I the guy in Tiananmen Square? Why am I just fucking standing there watching these tanks, and then waiting for the photo op, going, hey, look, it's me, and then just get fucking run over anyway? I know he didn't get run over, but if it was me in that square, they would run me over. Okay, I'd be mushed, just instantly, just like fucking steamrolled, and they would bring the steamrollers back out to make sure I was dead and just in the street, and they would leave me there as an example. They wouldn't even fucking scrape up my remains. Okay, they'd be like, this guy tried to stand up against the grain. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. That's a stupid idea. But what I was saying was, I'm acting like I know what I was saying. I don't know what I was saying. Go up against good cops. Okay, when we do the whole thing of everybody's going to be a cop, there's going to be many flavors of cops. Like I said, nurse cops, firefighter cops, deli bagel workers cops, okay, coffee people cops, people who work in an ice skating ring cops. Everyone's gonna be cops, but there's gonna be a lot of different flavors. This is because the working world is varied. And again, in the 20 years, all these jobs are going away. So cherish it while it's there. Okay, but what was I saying? Why did I say, okay, I support the working man, and then this, but they're not really, but not too much. I don't fucking remember. This happens every single time, and I always say to myself, I'm like, this time you're gonna fucking have control of yourself a little bit, Desi. You're gonna, like it's like a shoelace, I'm just gonna like hang on. Oh, it's gonna be like this, like one of these things. Like there goes my fucking hands yet again. But whatever. We're gonna hang on to the shoelace, like don't let go. Okay, you can go off in this and that. You can let your hands go. You can start doing this. You can start doing that. Hang back on. Stay the fucking course. Because now I don't even know. We gotta go all the way the fuck back. What were we saying? Lobster. I didn't even. Okay, so the lobster shit. That's the last thing I fucking remember. And then I'll look this back up, and then next time I'll be like, oh, that was the thing I forgot. And then we'll finish the other shit. It probably had something to do with me being broke. Oh, yeah, I remember what that is now. Let me fucking write that down, okay? The two things, right? Work versus other. I'm gonna see, okay. And then working man is a sucker. Okay. So, the lobster shit. And, oh, the prison shit. Did I say the prison shit? Was that on air? Again, I don't know. I don't, whatever. We'll get to that too. The lobster shit. I was saying, did they do a bacon? Because you know what the story was with bacon? I don't think I've said this on air before. The story with bacon was, people weren't eating it. And I guess these farmers, I guess it's not, is it a prime cut of fucking, no, I guess you use the other parts first, right? And then they had this belly fat, I don't know where, actually I don't even know what part, I would imagine it's something with fat, or is it back? I don't know, back bacon, right? Isn't that a thing? I don't even know. This is one of these things like you think you understand shit, and then like you're pressed on it and you have to fucking deliver, and you're like, I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't know anything. But whatever it is, okay? Bacon wasn't being eaten. That's the most important thing. Everything else is irrelevant. Bacon wasn't being eaten. And obviously now the people who, have the bacon meat, they're like, we got to do something about this, okay? Because my bacon sales could be through the fucking roof, and they're not, okay? So I got to talk to somebody who knows how to jam this down America's throat, okay? And they did that. And so what they did was they went to this guy. And I think this is the guy, is it the guy? I think it's the same guy. There's the one guy who's like the godfather of all this shit. And it's like, he's the guy. He's the guy. Maybe this is what we need to start doing too. We need to go into this direction. He's kind of like a consultant, but he's like, I'm going to tell you how you can fucking sell this bag of shit. He's a bag of shit salesman expert. He's the expert of flinging a bag of shit at America and cleaning up. Just absolutely fucking, because what he does is, I think this is the guy, so he was like Freud's thing. Like, he was in Freud's, I think it was nephew or some shit. And he basically goes, he took what his uncle was saying, because he's like, oh, this dude's a fucking genius. And he was saying that, we say, hi, how you doing, all this shit. Underneath it, there's all this sexual shit happening. Sexual, violent, all this kind of thing, just erupting at all fucking times. Okay, with Des, it's basically like, it's like what you get on this podcast. Maybe not so much sexual shit until we start the Desi OnlyFans. But the violent and the primal, cutting through the bullshit. Okay, yeah, the exterior of the cake, we're getting right to the focus, the cherry in the center. Okay, so this guy was that guy. It's like, how do we sell the cherry, how do we tap into the cherry in the center? Okay, but sell it into a nice cake that everybody fucking buys. And what was the cake this time? It was fucking bacon. They're like, we need to move bacon. Bacon is not moving at the rate that it should be moving. We got to do something about it, okay? We were thinking about making it a part of like a breakfast thing, okay? We're trying to corner the breakfast thing because breakfast seems to be like the easiest to fucking penetrate. Because lunch and dinner, it's like can be fucking anything. I know in Poland and all these places it's different. In Poland, the lunch is big and then the dinner is like the supper, but there's slices of ham all the fucking time. But and then there's always fucking soup during lunch too. So. But it's like the range of what can be served is wide. Whereas breakfast is kind of like very slim. And maybe that has something to do with the people before, like, again, cereal. Well, why do you need fucking cereal in the morning? Why do you need any of this? Why do you need, there's no rules when it comes to what time of day you eat any of this shit. Except that you're supposed to have a hearty breakfast, but you're supposed to have calories in general. And then that's for people who are working their ass off, sweating out under the sun. Yeah, you need a lot of fucking calories for that, because if you don't have fucking breakfast and you go and you're operating a fucking forklift, or worse off, you're fucking, like I said, trying to lift the fucking bar over, and you're not gonna get the bar over and it's gonna fall on your fucking head and you're gonna die. Okay, you're gonna die. So eat your fucking breakfast. Okay, so I guess that's the whole thing, and that's the angle that they played. They're like, okay, well, what do we need? Okay, so breakfast, you need a lot of energy and shit because you're gonna go out and do shit. Or you probably, most people at this time would have been just sitting in a fucking cubicle. Okay, so it's not even fucking true. But again, we're painting this with the American working man as a farmer, and I'm not trying to shit on farmers. I got all the respect for little farmers again. Not big corn people, not all that shit. But the American worker, bro, you need a lot of energy at the start of the day. And that's why, so they went to these fucking scientists. And this is why. This is part of why, I get all this shit from like, oh, you're scientific. I am not a scientific skeptic, okay? I am not this and that. If the science is there, the science is there. I get it, okay? But I can put that, I can also see, science doesn't just come out of nowhere. So this is what these guys did. They went to the scientists, they said, can you prove to us that it's better to have more calories like fucking early or late? Okay, can you have more calories early or late? And again, like I said, the answer is early, because why would you have a fucking do a whole fucking bacon fry up thing at like 11 p.m.? I mean, there's no rules. I've done it in the past. Sometimes bacon's all you got sitting in the fridge, so it looks like a bacon fucking fry up because I hate going to bed hungry. Okay, so I'm breaking the fucking rules there. But I'll be maybe I'm not the exception, but maybe I'm the undesirable. Okay, I'm the undesirable. We don't want to be like what I'm doing. We want to do, Jimmy, those progress reports. Blah, blah, blah. So what it is in that, if you got to worry about the progress reports, it's better to have your breakfast in the morning, so you can have the brain power to worry about progress, which means you fucking do absolutely fucking nothing. It's like, what are you worrying about? Fucking a piece of paper. Oh, but then my boss, exactly, that's what it is, because your boss. You're worried about your boss. You're worried about somebody who's you've put hierarchically above you and said, yeah, I'll accept that for however many dollars a fucking week, is squashing down on you. And a Freudian, to talk about Freudian shit, and it's making you fucking resent your dad. And now you want to kick the shit out of your dad and your boss, but you're going to fucking eat it, like always, because why? Because you need money. So the scientists came back and they said, yeah, it's better if you have shit early in the day. And then, so they connected these fucking 3 bullshit dots. They're like, okay, better have calories early in the day. This shit has a fuck ton of calories because it's not good for you. It's just a bunch of fat. It's a bowl of fat. It's good, tastes good. Because things that aren't good for you tend to taste good. But we have this giant bowl of fucking fat that we're trying to sell you. You're better off having it early, because then, like I said, it's just clogging your fucking arteries late at night, and then you're gonna have acid reflux or what. You're gonna have acid reflux regardless, okay? Because like I said, it's not good for you. But if you're gonna do it, it's like, if you're gonna do it earlier on. Do it early in the day. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And so they basically translated all that. And it's like blah, 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 blah. And they served it up on a platter. It's like, bacon is now America's fucking breakfast food. And fucking voila. Now you're eating fucking bacon for breakfast. Okay, not fish. I've heard something about fish is good because your brain and all that kind of shit. No, bro, bacon. Because why? Again, because the scientists said it. And why did the scientists say it? Because some guy went in there and said, say this, because he knew it was gonna fucking work. And then it's not like they're bullshit. They're not fucking with the results. Nobody's like toggling the results saying, hey, it's like, yeah, you're bending this to say that, to do that, to technically, yeah, you're technically fucking right. You know? So that's me being a skeptic. Okay, when I'm not saying that the science is wrong on this and on that and that. I see the science. But I also see the fucking strings. And that does, just because the strings are there doesn't mean that's what it is. I'm not going to say any buzzwords, because I'm afraid all these things are going to get fucking banned off now. He doesn't believe in this. But it's fucking worship. A combination of fucking worship and not seeing who dropped the who's messing with the science. That's all I'm saying. Like, just have a... And again, it could be that somebody is pulling the strings and the thing is still whatever, good for you. You know, it could be that the Pfizers and whatever the world are, you know, they serve you up this fucking cure of whatever. And are they fucking raking it in? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are they going to try to ban anybody else in the fucking world from copying it? You bet your fucking ass they are. Even though who dumped a fuck ton of money into them being able to fucking research it is the government. Okay, United States government. What's the United States government doing? Are they saying, oh, now Pfizer, no, watch yourself because, you know, we're the shining fucking beacon on the hill, whatever the fuck, globally. You know, we invade countries because we want to bring prosperity in there, everything. But now India needs the thing for this thing that you created. We're going to give it to them? No, they're not going to fucking do that. Why would they fucking do that? Because this whole thing. This is what I'm talking about. But now, in spite of all this, but now to play the fucking devil's advocate. It's like, hey, that doesn't mean the shit doesn't work. It better fucking work with all the fucking money that's being dumped into it. If you have all that money and you can't do it, that's why we're like, when we talk about like Musk, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, you better be able to make this shit fucking happen. Like, you have no excuses. Oh, but it takes a long time and it's a lot of things. You have $1 bazillion, okay? You got like, I don't want to say something that's wrong, but I think it's like GM, Ford, Chrysler, like fucking combined. And everyone's just like, now people like you have like outgrown thing. Like, it's like you and Amazon and Google and all this shit, right? Because even Facebook just took a shit, right? Facebook is like done, right? So now it's like something, but they'll come back though. They'll come back. They have too much data and all that kind of shit. But hey, like the guys in the stock world. It's like Tesla. Okay, you have that. And I, to his credit, like you see that the Tesla thing is rolling out. Like it's not like nothing is happening. But like, I mean, the fucking bare minimum, like for the amount of money, like I said, that's going into this shit, like you would expect. I better see Teslas up and down the fucking street in 2 years. But again, this is a guy who overpromises and under fucking delivers. Okay, so again, I'm not, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna rewind. We're talking about science, and I think we finished that too. Bacon. Okay, thing. Working man is a sucker. Right, that's what we were saying. So, because there's two rules, and I didn't realize this recently. Because I hate fucking, you know what it is? I hate people who bitch about capitalism. Like it's fucking obvious, but like people who are like, capitalism is this, and it's like, yeah, obviously it's shit. But again, it's like, but that's like people who bitch about social. It's all the same shit. People bitch about socialism. People bitch about capitalism, and it's like that's just grass is greener fucking horse shit. Go talk to if you hate fucking capitalism and you want socialism. Go talk to somebody who lives in a fucking socialist country. I know, but it's communism, not social. Yeah, but that's the fucking point. They never get there. So it's like, oh, Jesus is coming back, because that's all it is. There's a religious fucking fervor to this shit. It's like, oh, but one day the workers and the mass revolution, it's not fucking happening. You waiting for utopia. You're gonna be waiting a long fucking time. It's gonna be you and the people waiting for Jesus to come back, waiting side by fucking side, and you realize, oh, we're actually waiting for the fucking same thing. And there's more people. That's why it's a great racket. And then that's why if you sit in a school in fucking Russia. I just found this out recently too. It's not like they weren't like, oh, things are fucking great here. No, they played they you know what they did? They did the I guess we can't say they did the Donnie Golden Toilets way. They did the Donnie Golden Toilets way. Donnie Golden Toilets came in and said, hey, America's fucking great and America is shit at the same fucking time. So he captured. So now, if you're a fan of him, you're able and he goes, America sucks now, and you're able to go, yeah, but America's great. It's like, yeah. That's how you gotta get both sides. Both sides of this fucking yin yang. Because the problem is everyone goes for the one thing. And they go like, oh, America sucks. And then people who like America like, boo. And then, you say America's great. And people who think that America sucks go, boo. So you got to capture both fucking sides. That's, and I'm not talking about like morally to go forward. I'm talking about it business-wise. If you want to execute. This is what these communist guys did. And they were sitting in a classroom. They weren't saying it's fucking peachy because you have eyes. Maybe in North Korea because they don't know what the fuck they're doing up there. But you sit in a fucking Russian classroom. Apparently they weren't saying that. They were saying, look, I know it looks like shit right now. I know you're freezing. I know you have fucking like frostbite every fucking night. I know you haven't felt blood running through your legs this decade. I understand that. Okay? I know you're eating this, like the fucking just oats without, not even oatmeal. Because you don't even have any appliances to fucking boil the water. I understand that. But it's just to be patient. This shit takes time. But it doesn't take, it's like the revolution is coming. It's not coming. It's not coming. Okay? But but see, that's just the social stand. But then you do the same thing with the people like, oh, capitalism. It's like, you're an asshole. How you're not seeing everything's fucking condensing? Are you not seeing everything? Everybody's just saying, this will eventually do that. But then it's like, yeah, that's true. And then the opposite will eventually do the other thing. Okay, all these things eventually will do whatever it is. Okay, but I will say, because so the reason I was bringing that up, it's like it's like annoying to listen to people because it's just like bitching about, and again, it sucks. I'm not saying it doesn't capital, or if you want to call this shit capitalist, because I don't even know if that's true anymore. Is it capitalist, or is it just five people running shit? Like that's not capitalist, but then they tell you that's the whole point. Is that's why let it run its course, and these things, it was 500, then it became 5, and now they're telling you it is when it isn't. So and it's just like the socialist communist shit, same fucking shit. So yeah, so it is capitalism because this is a part of that shit. But I used to kind of like get annoyed when people were like keep going. But then I realized, you know what I realized about that? It's in the word. Okay, and I never read the Marx shit. I'll crack a peek one day because why not? I crack a peek with all this shit. You absorb it all. I'm confident enough in my ability to say yes, no, and we'll figure something out. But I realize this in the word. It's all the solutions in the word capitalism. It's all about fucking capital. Like what we're talking about today. It's like, oh, you got to work hard. I said, no, it's one or the other. Okay, it's one or the other. You're either going to work hard or you're going to have capital. That's it. Or fucking work for 20 fucking years and like barely scratch and then get fucking lucky anyway. Like it's just all luck and it's capital. So it's either your capital or some. You guess like they're like, you gotta work hard. It's like, no, you convince somebody to put capital into your shit. Okay? When you say I'm working for my money, you're taking yourself out of the capital fucking pool. Okay? And guess what? That those jobs are going away, and those numbers, the things are falling. Everything else is supposed to go up because the property shit's going up, rent's going up, all this shit's going up. Your shit's going down, okay? But the whole point was It was supposed to be like a social contract kind of shit where you're like, hey, I'll do like I said, I'll let somebody fucking sit on my fucking head. What's the word I'm looking for? Not symbolically fucking sit on my head every fucking week just so I can put a fucking roof over my head. So now I have a roof over my head and this guy's ass and his ass sweat just in my fucking, ear at all times. Okay, but I'll do it. Just so long as he doesn't fucking put extra fucking weight and then make me fucking worry about my roof disappearing. But it happens anyway. It just happens anyway. So the working man is a sucker. So when I hear people like saying to me, it's like, oh, yeah, you work. It's like, no. We're going for capital. I want fucking capital. That's all I fucking want. I don't give a fuck how. Look, other than things like, oh, is it legal? Is it severely fucking morally questionable? I'm not selling kids to like traffickers or some shit. You know what I mean? I have limits. Like we were talking about this with like OnlyFans and shit, right? Like I do have lines. But so then that's the thing too, because then everybody who makes a killing doesn't have a line. They're just sociopaths. Okay, and but barring the sociopath, like barring the shit that's very fucking questionable, and even though the line they're like, we're not gonna traffic kids. That's fucking we'll rule that the fuck out. But maybe there's something that's like maybe like half as heinous. But like it's like I look the other way for 2 seconds. Again, nothing with kids, right? We're leaving the kids out. We gotta leave the kids. Invest in the kids, invest in the future, so that they can watch this whole thing blow up. Because are any of these kids today that are alive today gonna make it over the age of 30? If you have a kid that's born today, you think he's gonna make it past the age of 30? It's possible. Maybe I'm just being a thing, but something to think about. Something to fucking think about. But anyways. Yeah, so we're looking for capital. We want investments, okay? So that's why. And then there's people like, oh, you should be doing, should be doing what? I just going to do another job. It's like, I'm spending, not only am I spending all my fucking time during the week, he's not doing it, but I'm barely even making ends meet. So why don't I just float out into the ether? All these fucking ideas, okay? And if it's not going to be the people who invest, I just need some fucking clown. Some son of a son of a son of a son of, Like I said, somebody who's great grandfather. Maybe you don't have to build the steamboat, but like he invented he got the patent on the fucking the chimney on the fucking steamboat. And maybe his name is Chimney. Maybe it's just Jeff Chimney, which is his fucking name, but you called Jeff in like 1800s. Jeffrey with the Geo, because that's like the old fashioned spelling. Jeffrey Chimney. Okay, and so your name is fucking Elijah Chimney, because like there's all Elijah's like this is what this is fitting, and you're just sitting on a boatload of cash, no pun intended. Oh, did we talk about steamboat? Yeah. So you're doing that, and you just you got some money to throw around. Desi's available. This is why I'm talking to y'all. I shit on Musk. I shit on these guys. Bezos, all these guys. Invest in me. I shit on The Rock. The Rock should start a rock investment company, okay? I'll be the first client. He probably already has investments. All these guys have investments. You have these guys going on Shark Tank now. It's like what the guy for Ryan Reynolds and thing and like Ashton Kutcher, and he's like, oh, he's a heartthrob now, but then he do like the whole thing of like I'm a businessman. And for credit to Ryan Reynolds, he owns the thing, the soccer team, which is what we're gonna do. That's another thing we should talk about. I'm gonna write that for the next time. We should buy fucking Kidderminster. We're gonna buy Kidderminster. I'm gonna say that we're gonna do like a West Ham thing. We're gonna do a West Ham. Desi blows bubbles. Okay, and on Desi blows bubbles next time, we're gonna talk about buying Kidderminster. Okay, because Kidderminster, I feel bad. One of the reasons I like rooting for West Ham is because they're, now they're like fucking top 4 or whatever, but they're kind of like lovable losers. But now we just squashed fucking poor Kid. I don't think Kidderminster has a great fucking fan base, but they fucking almost beat West Ham. Okay, and they're not even in a fucking league. It was almost a giant slaying of a lifetime. Okay, so as a show of thing, we should buy this fucking team and then turn them into like the next empire, because that's what these things do too. Like Man City was a piece of shit team, and then all of a sudden, here comes the fucking the Dubai money, and now it's boom. Now Man City's all over the place. So I was gonna talk about prisons, because we were talking about lobsters and prisons. I'll do that and then I'll go. But no, I'm gonna say that, and we're gonna be here another fucking half an hour. I'll try to keep it short. Des Gulag. I'll cut right to the fucking point. The Des Gulag. Okay, we need to have an eye on the prison game as part of the Desi conglomerate. A lot of companies do already have an eye on the prison game, because that's where your cheap labor comes from, right? You signed into law, but you can look this shit up too. Here's one of the Wikipedia fact for you. fucking signed into law executive order by the fucking holy figure of a fucking, the American left, which is a fucking FDR, because he didn't fucking round up a bunch of Japanese people. He didn't tell the Jewish refugees to go fuck themselves and then later take claim for, we saved from the Holocaust. Hey, did you really? Did you really? Because they were asking to fucking come and you said, not today, maybe tomorrow. And on top of all of his other great, he kickstarted, talk about Dubai and oil shit, kickstarted that shit. Basically, he said, hey, you guys got oil over there? Let's have a meeting. Blah, 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 blah. And they wheeled him over, wheeled him onto the boat. And you can't wheel him over water. But the way the left talks about him today, it's like you think he walks on water or wheels on water. You think he wheels on water. But anyway, another genius thing that this guy fucking did, and I'm not saying that he's a piece of shit. There's no good presidents. There's no good presidents. Yeah, and if you are a good president, you're a shit president. Because it means you're trying to be a good human being. It's not allowed. That's not how the game works. You're being an emperor, okay? So you gotta act like a fucking emperor, like a fucking king. You gotta do that, okay? So I'm not here just to throw. I'm trying to cut. I always like to cut people down to size, and I like to lift up people who are being squashed. And I just want everybody to be on this fucking happy medium at all times, okay? But this is what this guy did. So another thing he did, he signed into executive order, a thing saying like, hey. Yeah, you can employ fucking prison people and like at a maximum, fuck minimum wage, at a maximum wage of like $1. Okay, you can look this up and it still stands. Okay, so then people are using this shit and they're being like, oh, now I can pay my guy, again, $1. Oh, because why? Because he sold pot in the neighborhood instead of fucking working in a Fuddruckers. Okay, he said, I'm gonna sell some fucking pot. And he's not even making bank, but he's thinking, and he doesn't want to sell pot. He wants to, you know what he wants to do? He wants to be an architect. But he doesn't have it's not there for him right now. Okay, he doesn't have the whole thing going, so he's got to sell pot. And it's fucking pot. Okay, if he's lacing that shit with whatever, send him to jail. Okay, that's fine. But he's selling pot, is whatever. And then you get busted a couple times because he's just trying to, and then there's way too much police presence in his thing. But again, like everyone's going to be a cop, so we're going to have to get used to it. And there's a lot of police presence. He's selling the pot. He's selling pot, and then so now he's in jail. What can we do with this guy? Because he's just fucking sitting there. Should we let him just sit there and fucking enlighten himself? Because why not? Let me read a book I never got to read. I'm fending off somebody's gonna try to rape me next fucking week. And I'm just trying to stay away from that. No, we're putting you to fucking work for $1 because our buddy FDR said is cool. So prisons are lucrative, and as businesses always have their eyes on the business, right? So if we can't get into the prison game, because again, so that's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Let's get into the prison game. Okay, because again, if you're ethical and you're trying to be Desi do right, you're gonna say it's a bit fugazi. It's a bit questionable. Okay, do you really want to have that on your conscience? You know what? It's a fucking racket. Like I said, there's a ton of money going in there, and there's a ton of money going in. And again, I was looking like for wage slaves and stuff. I want somebody to be able to do my shit. If I don't have to do all this shit myself, my own fucking. If I hire somebody to do my fucking tech shit. I just tell them what to do and they fucking do it for like $1 an hour. We got to start going to these people. Or, and like I'm just assuming another piece of baloney that fucking falls on the floor that it doesn't pan out because people got the prison game fucking cornered. We start, we're gonna start the gulag game. Talk about communist countries. We need to bring the gulags back. Okay, and then if we dominate the gulag game and then gulags take over prisons and shit. And it's like extra legal. Like we'll go to one country. We'll go to like a North Korea type. We'll go to one of these countries. Oh, Belarus. We were talking about Belarus before. Go to fucking Lukashenko. Say, look, I'm sorry. I said you have a small Johnson. That being said, there's a lot of money we can make, and we'd like to run a test pilot program in Belarus or wherever. Pick a fucking country. Pick a random Tajikistan. What's it like in Tajikistan? I think like fucking authoritarian, whatever. Maybe this could be the perfect place to go. Is to Tajikistan. And you say, well, we're going to try to, but then they have the negative history with the gulag. So maybe they're aching, maybe shit sucks the way it is now, and they're just longing for the days of the Soviet thing. So yeah, we'll bring the gulags back with you. But you have to call it a gulag. Is it going to be different from prison? Yeah, because it's going to be extra legal. Or it's going to be legal within a country that has very iffy kind of fucking legal shit. Like people are still getting stoned or whatever, and you could still just kind of throw somebody in jail just on a fucking whim. Yeah, I guess the goal is to then be a leader of these countries and then be able to enact this. But maybe whatever. There's got to be a way to do this. And you go to these countries, you say, hey, Desi gulags, okay? And eventually you get so big, it'll become the Amazon of prisons, okay? You take over the prison system, and now every country's gonna be looking at the system like, hey, you don't have to go through the whole thing of like, oh, we're gonna be possibly, we have to wait till this person's trial, and there's, fuck the trial. Fuck the legal system. We're gonna go, hey, I don't like you. Get in the fucking gulag. And you're gonna have certain people who are gonna be allowed to say, you get in the gulag, you don't get in the gulag. Because if I had the keys to the world, okay, say this becomes my route to success. So I'm raking in money off the Desi gulag. And then because I have the money from that, I run a campaign or whatever. And then if you don't like my campaign, in the gulag you go. Okay, in the gulag you go. Okay, I have full control. And then so now I'm at the top of the fucking heap, and I've cornered humanity. Okay, and then then it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, listen, the world is, we're going a bad direction. Okay, and I don't like a lot of you. So you have three options, and they're not options. They're options for me. Okay, I have three options for what to do with you. You have no free will anymore. Because I am the closest thing to God that is on this planet, because I invented Desi gulags, or any one of these other ideas that take off, but we're going to merge it into this kind of thing, because we just want to rule the world. And we're going to say, okay, so here we're giving you these three options, okay? You can either, you can implies again, free will that you don't have. You're either going to be fucking put to the Desi gulag, okay? And then, you're doing my files, doing my nails, all this kind of shit. I'll explore things I haven't done before and haven't had the time to, because now I don't have the pressure of trying to make a fucking bill. It's like, okay, now I can have people do shit for me, okay? Just miss me. I'll have misters. Okay, and there'll be Mrs., Misters. Oh, there'll be Miss. I'll be equal opportunity. Obviously, I'll in certain ways I'll be like not a dick. On top of being the biggest dick on the fucking planet and ruining people's lives, I'll give them I'll throw them bones every once in a while. It's like equal opportunity misters. Okay, so everybody can be Mister. I don't care what your gender. But this is very in line with the American politics. We can do the most horrendous fucking shit. But hey, so long as we're everybody can join in. Okay, if you're an ex-transgender Mister, whatever, Mister is open for you. Okay, it's open for you. If you're half Bolivian, half Solomon Islands-ish, whatever the fucking word is for that, ballerina with just torso, for the world's first torso ballerina. We're not going to be like, oh, we're not going to go the other direction of saying like you're not fit. Everybody, all are welcome to mist me at all times for up to $1 an hour. Up to $1 an hour. This is how particularly democratic politics work in this day and age. So hey, we're just tapping into that mindset. So the Desi Gulag again will be an equal opportunity employer. Everybody will be able to take part. But you don't have to say what you say. Okay, so that's one. You put in the Desi Gulag in some capacity to serve me. All right, and take yourself out of society, because there's too many of you just running around in society. Too free. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we're just gonna rocket you to Mars. Okay, we're just gonna send you off to Mars. So we're gonna find the first guy who invents the rocket ship. Like I said, we're banking on Dyson. So we're gonna form partnership with Dyson. He's gonna have the vagina rocket ship. I'm gonna load a bunch of people on, and then we're just gonna, because it's super fast. It's like a fucking hyper thing. It's like 5 seconds. Because I have faith in this guy. He's not gonna be the Musk, and he's gonna say, "Oh, we built the fucking rocket ship," and then it just like it does a Challenger. It does a Challenger or whatever, the fuck, and it never gets there, or it gets there and it takes. He had the whole thing with the hyperloop between the DC and thing, and it takes 4 hours, and it's half an hour, and then it turns out it's just gonna take 4 hours, like a regular fucking train. You just reinvented fucking trains. You reinvented a 200-year-old technology, So instead of that, where it's just gonna be like, even worse than like fucking whatever they were shooting up there in 1969. It's gonna be, we got this guy Dyson, so he's gonna get us up there fast, and we're gonna because of technology we can load a bunch of people on. So we're gonna have some people who just get shot to Mars and then figure out for yourselves. We'll send the Musks and all them, and we'll be like, oh yeah, you're such a smart guy, science guy, let's go, prove it. Get yourself up and running on Mars. We're giving you all the people, so you better fucking figure some shit out. Because cannibalism is going to set in, and then, fuck cannibalism, oxygen and all that kind of shit. You got a lot of fucking things to figure out, okay? And you had all the money in the fucking world, and you've had all this fucking time, and you were going on SNL, and you were doing this, and instead of fucking figuring out a solution because you were falling behind. You have too much money. You have more money than anybody can ask for, and you're still fucking not doing it. So there you go. Go prove yourself on Mars, Mr. Mars, because I know what you're dealing with talking Mars. Everybody else is not talking Mars. I'm talking Earth, but I want the Earth to myself. and people who are in my general liking for at least periods of time before they go into the gulag or into Mars. And number 3 is you get to walk the planet. Like I said, under my good graces. It's like, oh, congratulations, I actually like you. There's a bit of a gulag element to this too, because it's not like you're totally free. Like if I say, hey, you gotta, fucking talk about Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart, you gotta do a concert for me. You're not gonna say no, because you don't really have a choice. Because then again, gulag, Mars. Those are your 2 options. I should have actually spilled this idea for the gulag on here, because now people will be ready for what's coming. But then also, it's also like you got to speak it into existence. I think this is one of the stronger ideas of the Desi conglomerate. So now you see my end game. You see where I'm trying to go with this. But maybe, like I said, you gotta, if you say it, maybe we can inch closer to me being the fucking guy. Because it's a race to the top, and I'm done being 6,975,007. And I'm sick of just waiting for people to die off. Because actually, no, more people, the population is going up. It's not going down. So every second I'm falling down on the list. And I'm sick and tired of that. I'm stuck. So we'll work on that. That's all I got for you this time. This was not supposed to be an episode. This was an accidental episode. I gotta go. I gotta go do a certain number of things. But I figured since I got all up and ready and I got this set up and just like, knowing again, like it takes fucking 20 minutes, and then get my blood pressure's like up, blood pressure's up. I might as well use it, put it to good use. So here it is, and here's what we've done. So I'll see you guys whenever the fuck. And again, by you guys I mean nobody, but maybe fingers crossed. And if you want to get in touch with me about any of you financiers, the Rock, like anybody I've mentioned, anybody with a lot of money, Ashton Kutcher, that was a bunch of years ago, that Shark Tank episode. Any of these people, the prison people now, maybe this is where the prison people were trying to go. They were trying to say, well, you know what? You actually just spilled out the future of the prison industry. Okay? And so you look like a guy that can make things happen. Okay, again, because like everybody else is trying to hide their strategy. They're like, well, we don't want to tell the public this is what we're doing. It's like, but you just set out in the open, and now I know that that's where your head's at, and that's where our head's at, and we'll pay you a stupid amount of money, and then you take it, and then you put them in the gulag later on. Like, you take the money at the start, and you smile and wave, and it's like, it's going to be all good. Anyways, like I said, if you're out there and you want to invest in any of these ideas, we're fucking open. We're open for business. We are open for fucking business.